The position and movement of a dog's tail are among the most expressive elements of its body language, often functioning as a subtle yet powerful indicator of its emotional state. At a glance, the difference between a tail held straight upright and one that curves gently may seem minor, but in the nuanced language of canine communication, this distinction carries significant meaning. Understanding these signals not only deepens the bond between humans and dogs, but also helps prevent misinterpretations that could lead to stress or even conflict. A tail held high and straight, often described as upright, typically signals alertness, confidence, or heightened arousal. This posture is not necessarily aggressive in itself, but it does indicate that the dog is highly engaged with its environment. For example, when a dog encounters something unfamiliar, such as a stranger or a new animal, its tail may rise vertically as it assesses the situation. In such moments, the dog is gathering information, deciding whether the stimulus is a threat, an opportunity, or something neutral. The stiffness of the tail plays a crucial role here. A rigid, upright tail often suggests tension or dominance, whereas a more relaxed, upright tail may simply reflect curiosity or excitement. In contrast, a curved tail, especially one that arches softly over the back or forms a loose arc, tends to signal a more relaxed or positive emotional state. Dogs with naturally curled tails, such as certain Spitz breeds, may always appear to carry their tails this way, but even in these cases, subtle changes in tension and movement can reveal emotional shifts. A gently curved tail that moves fluidly, often accompanied by a loose wag, usually indicates comfort, friendliness, and a willingness to engage socially. This is the kind of tail posture commonly seen when a dog greets its owner after a long day or interacts with familiar companions. The curve softens the overall posture, signaling that the dog does not perceive any immediate threat and feels secure in its surroundings. However, it is essential to recognize that tail position cannot be interpreted in isolation. A dog's emotional state is conveyed through a combination of signals, including ear position, facial expression, body posture, and movement. For instance, a dog with an upright tail and forward-leaning body, accompanied by stiff legs and intense eye contact, may be displaying assertiveness or even aggression. On the other hand, the same upright tail paired with a relaxed body and playful movements could simply indicate excitement or anticipation. Similarly, a curved tail does not always mean a dog is calm. If the tail is tightly curled and held high with tension, it may reflect overstimulation or a guarded state rather than true relaxation. Another important factor to consider is the context in which the behavior occurs. Dogs are highly sensitive to their environment, and their tail position often changes in response to specific stimuli. During play, for example, a dog's tail may alternate between upright and curved positions as its emotional state shifts rapidly between excitement and engagement. In unfamiliar or potentially threatening situations, the tail may rise and stiffen as the dog becomes more vigilant. Conversely, in a safe and familiar environment, the tail is more likely to adopt a relaxed curve, reflecting a baseline state of comfort. Observing these patterns over time allows owners to develop a more intuitive understanding of their dog's emotional language. Breed characteristics also play a significant role in how tail positions are expressed and interpreted. Dogs with naturally high-set tails, such as terriers, may frequently hold their tails upright even when they are not particularly aroused. In contrast, breeds with lower tail carriage may rarely display a fully upright tail, making other cues more important for interpretation. Similarly, dogs with tightly curled tails, like Shiba Inus or Huskies, may not exhibit the same range of visible tail positions as dogs with straight tails. In these cases, subtle changes in tail tension, speed of wagging, and overall body language become even more critical for accurate interpretation. Moreover, the speed and direction of tail movement add another layer of complexity. A high, upright tail that wags rapidly in short, stiff motions may indicate agitation or excitement that borders on stress, whereas a curved tail that swings broadly and loosely from side to side is generally associated with positive emotions. Research has even suggested that the direction of wagging, slightly more to the right or left, can reflect different emotional valences, although such nuances are often too subtle for casual observation. What remains clear, however, is that the tail functions as part of an integrated communication system, and its meaning emerges from the interplay of multiple signals rather than any single position alone. In practical terms, learning to distinguish between an upright and a curved tail can help dog owners respond more appropriately to their pet's needs. When a dog holds its tail upright and appears tense, it may benefit from space, reassurance, or a gradual introduction to whatever has captured its attention. Forcing interaction in such moments could escalate the situation, leading to fear or defensive behavior. Conversely, when a dog's tail is curved and relaxed, it is generally more open to interaction, making it an ideal time for play, training, or social engagement. By aligning human behavior with canine emotional cues, owners can create a more harmonious and trusting relationship. Ultimately, the difference between a straight, upright tail and a gently curved one reflects the broader emotional spectrum that dogs experience. The upright tail speaks of alertness, confidence, and sometimes tension, a readiness to act or respond, while the curved tail conveys ease, contentment, and social openness. Neither posture is inherently good or bad. Rather, each represents a different point along the continuum of canine emotion. By paying close attention to these signals and considering them within their full behavioral context, we gain not only a deeper understanding of our dogs, but also a greater appreciation for the richness of their nonverbal communication.